Welcome on in to the 411 podcast. I want to say thank you so much to everybody out there who has been checking out the podcast, hanging out with us. Even if you just, breezing by, you check us out for a few. If you like, comment, subscribe, tag a friend, do whatever you can do to help support the 411. I definitely want to say thank you so much to the people who have been supporting thus far. This has been a great experience. Disc 3 Evolution. If you want to get the full, all 17 tracks, head on over to X, which is formerly known as Twitter. I have all 17 tracks, which is the audio version. So at the beginning of this month, and we're getting ready to wind down, the last show is going to be this Saturday. I have been streaming live. So you get the opportunity to check out Disc 3 Evolution two ways. You can either listen to the full audio, which is on X, formerly known as Twitter, or you can come out and hang with us live here tonight, or you can check out those replays. I think it's about 29 to 30 shows that was done over the course of this past month here. So thank you all so much to everybody who's joined in. I appreciate you. My very special guests who've come through, just to name a few: Alex Coquito, SOS, Queen Dawn Spirit, Jolie, Jacquees Washington. List goes on and on and on. We have Canadian artists coming in tonight. We've had Agnes K. We've had author Lauren Schultz. So many great people came through on the live version of Disc 3 Evolution. And of course, I couldn't do it without each and every one of you out there for supporting. So thank you so much for that. And also, I have to go ahead and give a very special thank you to my executive producer, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, for allowing me to come out here and continuously give you the 4-in-1 podcast night after night after night after night. It's been a great experience, and yeah, we got more. So hang tight. Check out the podcast. Check out Reading Between the Wines, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here for the rest of the week. So now tonight, we've been here before, so I got to go ahead and take it there. We have different parts of it. This is going to be the final part of it, and we're speaking about miracle expectations. So when I think about miracle expectations, I think about the things that you expect to become over your life, the things that you expect over your life. So speaking miracle expectations, for me, I'm just giving you some, straight up opinion as far as how it's been going on in my world. And what I do is I basically speak wonderful, positive, beautiful, amazing things, miracle expectations over my life. And the reason why I do so today is because it's not hard. It's not hard for me to look back and see exactly where I've come from. It's not hard for me to look back and think about how I used to be the exact opposite. I used to be the exact opposite. I used to be that person that used to be so very pessimistic. I used to think so horrible about the situation, always coming up with some, different side of the story when the movie hasn't even begun to play yet. So when I think back, like, wow, you used to think of all of these other scenarios, used to think of all of these other situations, and you haven't even pressed play yet. And that was just so, like, rough for me, but it's also healing in another process. So just think about that. Coming up with all of these different situations, coming up with all of these different scenarios, and you haven't even pressed play yet. So now that I'm out of that type of thinking, which I can say today is backwards thinking, that's because that's how I used to think. So if anybody out there, you can relate and used to be on the same type of level as me, thinking the same way that I used to think, trust and believe. If there's anybody out there, I feel you. And I hope that you get this message and you understand that you're not the only one out there. Backwards thinking, coming up with all of these different scenarios, all of these different outcomes, drawing all kinds of diagrams in my mind, and haven't even pressed play yet. That was the backwards thinking, the negative thinking. So now that I've learned how to accept me for me, how to accept this situation for what it is, I'm able to look at my life a little bit different. And because I'm looking at it different, It's that miracle expectation side. It's what do I expect to show up? Because I've done the bad part before. I've done the backwards thinking before. So now that I understand and I know the difference, what do you expect over your life? What do you expect in your world? Because it's up to you. Can't nobody else dictate and control and shape and mold your world except for you. And once I realized that, so you mean to tell me I have the power to do this, to do that, and it's not in somebody else's hands? It's basically up to me, and it's basically up to the way that I think about things and the way that I move about things and the way I work towards things. Miracle expectations, track 15. Only thing that I can say is just gain your power back. And that's basically it. Gain your power back, because we all can get wrapped up sometimes. We all can forget exactly who we are. And a lot of times that's exactly what the situation is. We take on all of these extra things. We try to say that this person made us feel this way. We try to say that this person, tricked us into a situation. It doesn't really work that way, because can't nobody make you do anything. Take responsibility. Miracle expectations. What do you expect? What are you going to put up with? What are you not going to put up with? Track 15, miracle expectations. Now, this is interesting. I want to break this down here. This is from Wayne Dyer. And this here, he says, give yourself a gift of 5 minutes to contemplate in awe of everything you see around you. Go outside and turn around. Go outside and turn your attention to many miracles around you. The 5 minute day regimen of appreciation and gratitude will help you focus your life in awe. So, when I think about miracle expectations, we just come off of a holiday. We come off of Christmas. What do you expect? What did I expect? What did you move yourself towards when it comes to your Christmas, your holidays, gathering with a friend? So I set up some miracle expectations for Christmas Day myself. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to focus on family. I wanted to focus on the conversations. I wanted to focus in the moment. And I didn't want the focus to be on gifts. And I didn't want the focus to be on all of the hype and all of the extra, that the commercialized aspect of it that continues to flow on and go through year after year after year, and sort of put people in a situation and make them feel a certain way when it comes to the holidays. So I put all of that stuff aside. Yes, the gifts were there, you know, amazing. I'm thankful for every single thing that I've got. But what I'm most thankful for is the time well spent, the conversations that are priceless. All of the things that I never used to think about before, because I had such a different mindset. I was always caught up in ego, and around the holidays, around this time, some of our egos can get real big. And sometimes we sit and we think about, wow, what did somebody get me? Oh, they spent this on me, or they didn't get this for me, or they didn't do that for me. So, I mean, I used to think everything like that. But today, the person that I am today, when it comes to all of the materialistic aspect of it, um, you can have it, because I'm pretty much good with that. Like, I have everything that I need. And the only thing that I really want to do from here on out is to create those memorable moments, those conversation pieces, that love, that time that you can't really get back, especially when we be hustling and we be flowing on a day-to-day basis. So when it came to my holiday season, the things that I spoke into my world, the things that I expected, the miracle expectations that I had over my life and my holiday season this time around, that's what it was about. So that was a miracle. I had my own Christmas miracle. So miracle expectations. Give yourself a gift of 5 minutes to contemplate in awe of everything you see around you. And that's the only thing I could think of, is like thinking of the smiling faces, thinking of those tiny little conversations, thinking of all of those little moments that I miss in years past because ego got in the way, stepped in the way, thinking that this gift or where are we going or sometimes even the food and the festive things that it just had to be perfect and it had to be that the conversational pieces were amazing for me, and that's basically what it was. So I took several minutes, not just 5 minutes, of contemplation and awe of everything that I had around me. Go outside, get with self, and turn your attention to the many miracles around you because we have so many different memories, so many different miracles around us every single day. And sometimes we don't even pay attention to it. But this Christmas I did. So hopefully everybody else had a wonderful Christmas. And miracles do happen if you believe. And I know some people might think, oh, that might just be, little fairy tale stuff. But I used to think that way too. But trust and believe. If you believe, you can get to a whole nother level. It's all about mindset. As a man thinketh, so is he. And I'm just going to keep saying, I'm just going to stay on it because it's so easy for us to fall back into the traps that we used to be in, fall back into the backwards way of thinking that we used to come from. So if anybody out there, if you feel me and you understand exactly where I'm coming from when I'm speaking about these miracle expectations, what a great topic to come back off of after a holiday. So, and I see you out there on D Live. Thank you so much for joining. And we have Miss Carol Cordera out there. Thank you so much for joining in. And we have Canadian country pop singer. Make sure I got this right. Canadian country pop star Maddie Lee Mars coming in. So the last time that I spoke to Maddie was 2021. So it's been such a long time since we spoke. So it's going to be great to get caught up with her and find out exactly what's going on in Canada and what type of miracle expectations she's been dealing with for these holiday seasons. So we had Anjoli from Anjoli Soul Sense come on the last show that we did Saturday. So if you want some healing, you want some holistic type of healing, you want some spiritual healing, head on over to anjolisoulsense.com. And she has so many great things. I think she has a detox that we were speaking about on the show, but I'm not quite sure that I'm ready to try it yet. But if you really want to cleanse yourself, she says that it helps you on so many different aspects. So you can eat it and it will work immediately. Now, you have to watch the replay because it was a little details as far as the things that happens when it comes to detoxing, but apparently it's the truth. So watch that replay and you can find out exactly how you'll be able to handle your detox, but basically stay close to home. That's how powerful and potent it is. So check out Anjoli's Soul Sense, as she has all of those wonderful candles, sages, detox, and she can help you with Reiki. She does readings, all types of things. Check out Anjoli's Soul Sense. I see author David L. in the building. Thank you so much for joining. He will be on tomorrow for Reading Between the Wines. That is at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here tomorrow. And we might as well get into it a little bit too to remind you of it. I'll be sampling this bottle tomorrow. Ava Grace Merlot. We have author David L. coming in the building tomorrow for Reading Between the Wines. And I'm actually hung up on that today is Tuesday. I know we're coming off of a holiday, but now my week is just like going like this now. So it'll be interesting getting back into the flow of the swing of things. But yes, tomorrow's Wednesday already. Author David L. coming into Reading Between the Wines. But tonight we have Maddie Lee Mars coming all the way from Canada. Can't wait to speak to her and get caught up with her. It's been a minute since 2021 since I've spoken to her. So check this out here. Burning questions. Now, I want to ask you a question here when it comes to the love of your life. Because the last burning question that we had dealt with the love of your life. So the question was, would you still get married to your so called love of your life if it means that it's going to upset and estrange you away from your friends and family? Burning question. If you knew that the love of your life, marrying the love of your life, is going to put you in a bad situation when it comes to friends and family, is that something that you're still signing up for? So on Jolie, her response was, yes, I'm going to sign up for it. I'm going to go ahead and listen to my heart. Listen to my heart go in because your friends and family can't dictate your future, which is absolutely true. Your friends and friends and family should not be picking who you are dating, getting involved as far as what situation you're in. They can give you some friendly warnings. They can let you know if something's not right, or if they get that little inclination that something's not right. But it just breaks down with a friendly warning, and that's about it. We don't get a chance to dictate and manipulate and control. That's just my personal opinion. That's how I feel. What would you do if you knew that, wow, marrying this person is going to put me in a bad situation with my friends and my family because they warned me and they told me that this situation is not going to work for me? Would you still do it? You can drop it in the comments. You can let me know how you feel about that burning question. You can also text me at 609-738-0611. And again, we have Miss Maddie coming in all the way from Canada. So I'm not quite sure what's going on over in Canada. I do know that it gets kind of cold around this time. So I'm curious to see exactly what Maddie has been up to.
Hi, you reached Maddie.
Uh oh. That's the first time that that's happened. We used to have that happen all the time. Let's go ahead and give her a call back.
Hello?
Hello, hello, hello. What's going on?
Nothing much. Just hanging out. Happy Boxing Day.
Happy Boxing Day. Okay, so maybe you can help us out with what that means. Because I used to remember seeing that on the calendar, and it's a Canadian holiday, but I have no idea what that means.
Wait. Oh my god. Wait, sorry. Okay, I actually.
What happened? Uh-oh, something happened. Let's try to call her again. This makes for an interesting night here.
Hello?
Hey, what's going on?
Did it get cut off? Oh my gosh. Sorry, I went on a whole spiel about boxing.
I know, I bet so. Okay, so rewind again. So for everybody that's listening and joining in, we have Miss Maddie Lee Mars, all the way from Canada. And the last time she was on the show was 2021. So now she's back, and you are going to explain to us what Boxing Day is. Okay.
That's so funny. I literally went on a minute spiel there. Okay, so historically speaking, Boxing Day is basically the day after the holidays where you clean everything up. but it has now turned into a commercial thing. So it's like a kind of like Black Friday. It's like similar to that type of thing. Yeah.
Okay.
I thought that like everyone had it, but apparently it's the Canadian holiday. The more you know.
Okay, so that's interesting. So you have Christmas. Do you all celebrate Christmas?
Yeah.
Okay. So, but then afterwards you do
yeah.
You do a Black Friday. So you go shopping after Christmas.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we have something like that too, but it's not really, I guess, called anything because when you get a bunch of money and you get a bunch of gift cards, the 26th usually is a big shopping day too. Not as big as 24th and 25th, but you still get some steady volume in some of the stores the day after. So that kind of makes sense a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and then also you get people returning
I feel
stuff.
like it is basically just Black Friday.
So
actually, you aren't allowed to return anything on Boxing Day in Canada. It's like an actual like mandate amongst the shopping world. Fun story. Anyway,
I think if you weren't able to return anything on the 26th here in the United States, I think people would be upset because sometimes people get gifts that maybe don't fit or they didn't like and they wanted to return them. It's a big return day for most of the stores.
You will get turned away. There's like signs, like they're handwritten signs, may I add, like just to add to like the aesthetic of like Canadian Boxing Day. But yeah, like it is like no return. So that's funny.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Well, I want to learn a little bit more about Canada, but I know you come here to speak about your music and everything. So again, like I said, it's been since 2021 since I spoke to you. So what have you been up to since then?
Oh man. I feel like I have become more grounded. That is the one thing. I have been releasing music finally. I actually released 2 songs last year finally. And I'm back in school and I'm going to be graduating in April. And no, like things just feel a lot more emotionally balanced, which is really nice.
That's good. That's good. So you got multiple things going on. Congratulations on your future graduation. So
yes, thank you. It's about time.
With all of that you have going on, which one would you say is going to be your main focus point?
Music. Yeah. Basically, right now, I just want to finish up my schooling because it's been a long haul. And then I'm going to be focusing on music. So I'm going to basically just getting myself not incorporated, but kind of getting all of the official channels set up.
Would people say that are close?
So like the stuff that like creative kind of hate.
Okay, that sounds good. I'm going down the flow here. So would people say that you're close to people you're close to? Do they say that you might be a little out there or you're never going to make it? Or do you have people who are, positive, speaking, miracle expectations into your world? Or do you have a mixture of both?
You know what? I am lucky. I actually don't have a lot of people saying I can't do it, which is nice. Either that is because people are like afraid to hurt my feelings, like they know that I'm very sensitive, or maybe I'm just on like the right path, or maybe I'm just tuning it out. I'm not really sure, but like I actually have a very good support. Like my 2 best friends, they are my biggest fans. Like
that's
they
awesome.
actually know every word to every song that I've written.
That's really.
So they really just like.
Yeah, that's really someone who supports you if they know all of the songs to your music. So that's good that you don't have, people around you speaking negative things. The question that I have for you is, what are you speaking to your world when it comes to the expectations? How do you feel?
You know what? I like. Okay, so I like to live in like a place of like realistic, but yet like also diving into like the fantasy part of like having like this type of a this type of a Kareem. So I do a lot of positive talk, but I also make sure that I'm checking myself to make sure that I'm not stepping into either like overconfidence or like delusion almost.
I got you.
Like sometimes it's a fine line, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I really just try to ground myself and like because that would be the best way to explain that, if that makes sense. Sorry.
I like how you say you have to check yourself. And I think in life we have to make sure that we check ourselves. And I say it's better that you check yourself before somebody else checks you.
Wreck yourself. Yeah, check yourself before you wreck yourself.
I remember that song. Right? We're going
back to I don't even know what like that actual reference is, but yeah, that's like that is an old school.
That song was from Rex and Effects.
Oh shoot! Okay, wow.
Yeah, y'all should look it up. I used to.
Yeah, check it out. Another reference. Sorry, these boys. Sorry, but what we're talking about? God.
Miracle expectations. Checking yourself.
Right.
Basically getting your ego in check. Making sure your ego is in check.
Yeah. Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. But then also making sure that like you do have people around you that you can check yourself against as well, who like will always be like real with you in like the kindest ways.
Now, you have to be very careful with who you have. You have to pick the people that you have around you. Pick them very wisely. And like you said, checking.
No, that's the main thing.
Checking and reevaluating and making sure that the situation is, working for you. So you're into country music.
No, and that is like why.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, that is why. So sorry about that. I haven't done a podcast in a while, and I have to work on waiting my turn. I think like that is like why I said that like it's important to find people that like you like trust, that like will always be like real with you, but like also kind, right? Because like it only takes one bad apple to ruin everything. Like I have watched it happen in so many situations, and it takes one person to poison the well. And you have to be careful, right?
And and it's so profound that you said that, because just like it takes one person, it could take one bad thought. We're speaking about miracle expectations. It could take one bad thought, one bad seed to like ruin, a whole situation, ruin a whole gathering. In some cases, in a detrimental situation, it could ruin your whole day because it could throw you off course. So we always have to be very guarded. We always have to make sure that we're in control of, our thoughts. So think miracle expectations. Have miracle expectations. Have some standards. That's it. Have some standards as far as what you will put up with. There's that word. Have some boundaries as far as, you can't come past here. You can't go over here in this situation, because if you go here, it's going to cause a problem. We've been here before. We don't want to do it anymore. So from here on out, it's nothing but miracle expectations. So
that's a beautiful way to put it, because like you are having that conversation with like yourself constantly, making sure that like you aren't like doing things that you don't want to be doing, and like it is like a conversation with like yourself, and like so like I really like it the way that you explain that, because that's so true, and it's
What?
But like you have to check yourself along the way, because as you grow, you are trying to get rid of these bad habits, and like those bad habits do not go away like just by itself. Like it's a constant just being aware and making sure that you are making conscious type of choices. Totally.
Absolutely. Because like if you have been stuck in a pattern if you have been stuck in a routine, if you have been stuck in a regiment for so long, you're used to it, and it's going to be like clockwork, and it's going to be like, okay, we can do this because we know how to do it. We've been rehearsing, we've been practicing, we're ready to go at any given drop of a dime. But if you try to do something new and it's a shift and it's unfamiliar, you know, that you're going to have to work on it just as hard, if not even harder, because you're not used to thinking in this direction, or you're not used to moving in this direction. However, the backwards thinking, as I spoke about it earlier, I mean, you can do that. Like, that's like tying your shoes with your eyes closed. You know, it's no effort in that. So let's get into the music. So
That's true.
the country
Yeah,
music.
sorry. It's good though.
So what's
Sorry, I am so freaking Canadian. Every other word, like sorry.
I don't even. I guess that's what happens because I don't really notice it.
It's okay.
So everybody in Canadian,
It's a Canadian.
Canadian, everybody in Canada.
I swear.
We're both talking at the same time. So everybody in Canada, they running around saying sorry, sorry.
That's our stereotype, and it's actually true though.
I don't remember that. I remember.
They're apologetic people. Really just want us to be okay. Okay, yeah.
I remember Canadians that I used to deal with in a situation, in a professional situation. They used to drink a lot. A lot.
Depends what part of the country
Okay.
you're from, but yeah, there's definitely like a drinking culture, especially with beer. That's the thing. But there's also like a movement to like get away from that now. So
There's a movement to get away from that now.
yeah, because like now we're having like more non like alcoholic options pop up, just like because like I don't know, like I guess I like okay, so basically ever since like marijuana became like okay in Canada, now people are moving towards that. So it's like a movement away from alcohol towards marijuana.
Well,
It's like yeah,
I
it's
know.
the thing.
I know a lot of people argue back and forth with that, as far as the casualties that come behind it. So I can understand that.
Man, yeah.
So
But I, of course, do not speak for all Canadians, just for the record. But
right. Okay. So what would you pick if you had to have a drink of choice? Is it going to be beer, or is it going to be wine, or is it going to be something different?
probably like wine.
Okay.
Like, it's like because like it's like easy. It's like smooth. Makes you a bit like warm and like yeah.
All right. So are you drinking red wine? Are you drinking white wine? Blush? Rose?
Red.
Red? Okay.
Like white is way too sweet. Yeah.
Okay. So were you thinking like a Merlot or?
It's a classy drink. Honestly, I just buy like there is. Usually, I think it's like a cab tab.
Cab?
Keep it light, because like I don't like the heavy stuff. Yeah.
Okay. I feel you on that. I'm more of like a Cabernet, like you said. I can do Zinfandel. That's one of my favorite. Now I have Merlot that I'm going to try tomorrow, which will probably be the first glass of Merlot that I've had all year.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. So, like, it's a celebratory
What's that?
thing. Do you wine accompany your creativity at all? Like, do you find that like wine is a part of your creative process at all?
Oh yeah. Oh
It's
yeah.
a random thing, but to bring it back to the music.
No, yeah, I think so. Like when you're writing and getting into, a creativist, listen to me, create creative space. My goodness. Um, yeah, I think that helps. A good glass of wine definitely does help.
Yeah, yeah, because like I know like a lot of people where like substances get in the way of their creativity, but like for other people, it's definitely a facilitator.
Well,
So
not
it's
not
so
like
it's interesting.
not like drinking and partying and being the life of the party. Once you
Oh yeah, yeah.
once you get into a creative space, what's going on? And Rich Mom, oh, I'm so glad that you joined. Once you get into a creative space, it's like you need to calm that thing down. So, like a nice red glass in the wintertime, if you're at a desk getting ready to write, maybe you're looking out the window and it is snow or it is very icy out, setting the tone and getting into that situation. You can't be like pouring a bunch of glasses and, partying and that's not going to help with some creative side. So what's going on? Is that France I see in the
Driving or
building?
that.
Looks like we have France in the building too. And thank you so much for joining in.
What up? What up? Bonjour.
So, Enrich Mom, if you're still out there, you're not in Canada. Enrich Mom says it's freezing out there in Canada. Maybe did you visit in the wintertime? Possibly. I know. I don't think I
It
visit.
does. It does get cold. Like definitely like play like sports in -30. Like it's a weird thing. Oh wait, sorry. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit.
I know.
So that
I
could be
know.
very cold.
You have You have
That
Celsius.
damn metric system.
Yeah, you have Celsius. We have Fahrenheit. I have no idea. Blueberry and blackberry wines are lit. All right. What brands in Rich Mom? What do you have as far as blueberry and blackberry wines? I know there's a couple good ones out there. Tomasello has a great blueberry wine. They have a great cherry wine. So, what brand when it comes to blueberry and blackberry wines? So, for everybody out there who's listening, we have Maddie all the way from Canada. And every time, Maddie, I try to ask you about the music, we sort of get derailed into a different situation. So I'm going to go back to it again and try to talk to you about this music. So, country pop singer.
Okay.
Country pop singer. So,
Yes. Okay. Country pop.
what made you pick country?
Um, okay. I think we talked about this last time. But it is just the storytelling. It is the play on words. It is just the feel good, simple truth. Yeah, like, that would be kind of what drew me towards it. Was just like the way that it can capture just even a moment in time with so much description and so much purpose. And yeah, that's what drew me in.
I agree. I mean, it is the number one genre. It has been the number one genre as far as I've been around, as far as I know. So there's a lot of storytelling when it
Hip
comes
hop too.
to country music. Oh yeah. But for some reason, during all of those award shows and everything like that, country, they just wipe and swipe and take everything. So at least from what I can remember.
Yeah, no.
And
So that is very true. And there's also been a lot of crossover between country and like hip hop in like very overt ways. So I
absolutely.
think that's also part of it. Is just like country's also became more like mainstream, which is wonderful. Because music should be overlapping like that because it is one language, right? So
I hear you on that one. So country pop, can you name like some popular country pop artists that maybe your music may sound similar? I have to pick my words very wisely.
so that's a question. Okay, so I would say, okay, sorry. So this is like a weird question. So I would say that like I'm very influenced by Sam Hunt. I'm very influenced by Kelsey Ballerini. I'm very influenced by Taylor Swift. Not as much these days, but she's definitely one of like the main country pop artists. But I guess like introduced me to like the genre. But it's hard to say what I sound like. So if anyone could tell me who I sound like, that would actually be amazing because like I think as an artist, it's like also important to see how we are perceived because like sometimes it's so hard to tell, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, because you're on the inside and you
So
can't
like
see what
any
everybody.
feedback would be great.
Yeah, yeah. I know we always talk at the same time, so you're on the inside and you can't see what people see on the outside. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
Exactly. And so like any feedback is like I think it's important. So
Well, where can everyone?
so those are the artists that I would say I would sound most like. Um,
Where can everyone view your music, listen to your music?
okay. So I'm on Apple Music. I am also on Spotify. Probably the easiest way would be to follow me on Instagram, which is Maddie Lee Mars. So MaddieLeeMars. And I have a link in my bio, and that will take you to basically everything you need to know.
Okay, so everybody head on over to Instagram and check her out, Maddie Lee Mars. And I remember that you're from Canada. I have to remember that you're from Canada. So there could be a little delay sometimes with the phone system. So I'm just going to work with it. And after I've been podcasting all this time, I had to remind myself that yes, we might have a little stop and go. We might have a little delay. But in reality, we're speaking to you from Canada. So that's a blessing right there. So I'm going to go with the stop and goes. I'm going to just keep flowing with it. And it's working tonight.
Yes, I actually thought the delay was due to you just being like really deep in thought and thinking about what I was like trying to say. So like I loved it. So good to know.
Yeah, that was it. No, I'm kidding. No, it was. I will tell you, it did throw me off a bit in the beginning. And then I had to remember, okay, so we do have some much distance between us. And once I remembered that, then I'm like, okay, cool. Now I know how to handle it.
Now we know.
All right. So speaking of country pop, do you like Morgan Wallen?
I am a fan. I think he's a
You think he's
fantastic performer. I think he can sing. I think. Hello, pardon?
Yep, I'm still here.
Sorry, I like hear that.
So we get a thumbs up for Morgan Wallen.
Oh yeah, sorry. More like no, like I think he's a great performer. I think he knows what he's doing.
That's good. I mean, he won The Voice, or he was a runner-up, or he was something. I can't remember, but he was from The Voice.
Yeah.
So I'm sure.
Yeah. No, he definitely has a unique voice. Yeah.
Did he end up winning? He did win, didn't he?
No.
No, he didn't.
I don't think so. But I think he like placed top something. So,
Okay.
No, I definitely think he is a star. Like he definitely has a star quality to him. So I get like why he is successful.
Do you see yourself wanting to participate in any of those shows if you had an opportunity? The Voice, American Idol.
To be okay, no, because okay. So one of my interests is that I am interested in like reality TV and like how it all works from like a sociological and a psychological perspective. And because I know too much, I would never do a reality TV show.
You know,
Ever. I am not the type.
I think it's so funny you said that because I don't think I'd be able to do it too. I've had a lot of disagreements in the past when it comes to reality TV shows, and I probably wouldn't want any part of it anyway. It's funny you said that.
It just takes a very special person, like, and it really does because it's very manipulative. I actually tried out for So You Think You Can Dance Canada back in the day. And it was funny because, I probably danced for 20 seconds and I was there for 5 hours. So, like, most of it was, like, acting and, like, pretending to be, like, waiting in line and, like, pretending to cheer at things. So, yeah, it's an interesting thing.
Oh, they told you to cheer at certain things at certain times?
Yeah, no. Yeah, like, we all sat in the audience. They're like, okay, now, like, pretend the person's really bad.
Yeah.
Like, we're like, oh, you're so bad. Like, it's so big.
That's exactly why I don't believe in it. And when people believe in reality shows and they think that it is for what it is and they literally stand on it, I have a problem with that. Somebody's telling you what to do. You're acting. Anyway, I'm not even going to get into it.
It depends on, well, it actually depends on, like, the show, actually. Some are more real than others, but there's a fine line, and it does bring up a very ethical kind of consideration, like whether it is okay to present something like that as, like, reality when it's, like, not. Because, like, that, like, messes with, like, people's, like, perception of, like, thing. And, like, there's, like, very real consequences on the people that are on these shows, right? Which is, like, the worst part, in my opinion. Anyways, that is my rant.
I got you. No, it makes sense. But
I love it. I love it. Like, I love watching it. So.
Oh, well, that's interesting that you like watching it, but you wouldn't participate in it, but you like watching it. I got you.
Yeah.
I'm a little different.
Actually, there was a show called Unreal.
Okay. And what's that about?
Okay, so the show Unreal, it is basically, it is written by an ex-producer for Bachelor, and people say that, like, watching that show tells you exactly how reality TV works. And, like, it's a pretty accurate thing. So it's, like, anyone is in like, how the production side of things work, that show's amazing. It is called Unreal. It's amazing.
I don't know if it would be available. Maybe it would. I don't know. I don't watch too much TV, so
I think it's an American show.
Oh, okay. Listen, I don't watch TV, so you're teaching me something.
Probably for the best, because, like, my brain rots every time that I put it on.
Okay, well, thank you so much for coming on. I'm not gonna let you leave just yet, but before we get into the next segment, can you please go ahead and let everyone know where they can follow you at again?
Yeah. So on Instagram, it is Maddie Lee Mars, MADDIELEEMARS. Yeah, that's probably the easiest way to keep updated and to watch my shenanigans and to connect, and yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so we have Maddie Lee Mars, and ladies and gentlemen, right now it's time for burning questions. So if you want to give me feedback from tonight's show, you can text me at 609-730611. If you want to respond to the burning questions, you can drop them in the comments, or you can text me as well. So the burning question I have for you tonight, Maddie, is, with the state of the world today, do you think that the world will be a better place or a worse place 100 years from now? So I'll go ahead and rewind that again. With the state of the world today, do you think that the world will be better or a worse place 100 years from now?
Okay, well, that's a loaded question because I think it's hard to no, sorry, because like now when I have to go. From any point in history, I think that things have been bad in terms of like your perception of it, so it's hard to tell. But I think it's going to be worse because I think we're going to hand over all of our brain function to like AI and slowly like turn to mush. So that is my final answer. I think worse. Or
Well,
better. I don't know.
well, that definitely doesn't help for the future. That's interesting.
Sorry. There's like no hope. I just can't up with, like,
I'm gonna say that when it comes to the way that we advance, I would say that that would be better. But with that, just as one gets better, I would think that another aspect of it probably will get worse. So I know I'm probably answering it from both aspects, but I don't believe that you can have one without the other. So if we advance as far as technology, I do believe that when it comes to just everyday dealing with humanity, the people who do not, I guess, I want to pick my words wisely. For the people who don't
right.
advance, I think that can cause some issues on the other end. So, but overall, I say better. I think the technology is what's going to make it a heck of a lot better. But if, again, you're going to get a little, you can't have one way out the other. So you're going to get some resistance. And
Right.
I guess that's where the worst situation might come in. But I think good always.
It's all relative.
I think good always outweighs evils anyway. So what's basically what's good and what's evil? Some people might think and technology is evil. I know a lot of people think that the technology and the way that we're moving in the world is evil, but some people think that it's great. So I guess it's all on your own perception. We have our own perception.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and that's like the thing, like it's all relative, it is all perception. I don't think technology is evil, but I think that because like I think putting hands it can be used for evil. Like there's a whole philosophical question
absolutely
about that, but
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's all about how you use it.
Right. I don't think that the technology is evil, right? But it could be the person that's operating it, or it could be the person who's responsible for it. And once it gets in the wrong person's hand, then that just takes it and it transitions into something completely different. So you're absolutely right with that. And in Rich Mom, I appreciate your optimism. You say, contrary to what we see, later will be greater. And I think that that is so amazing. And I believe that too. I think that the later will be greater.
Need that mindset.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like I spoke.
No, it's important.
Like I spoke about earlier, when we've had that backwards thinking, not saying that that's what you have, because trust and believe I've had it, so I know what it is. Once you get done with all of the backwards thinking, you have nothing else but to do but to think positive because you've done it before already in the past, and we realize that it doesn't work. And here's one of the most interesting things that I've learned when I talked about miracle expectations and I talked about tying things in and I talked about the conversation pieces and I talked about just one-on-one time. One thing that I will not do as I continue to move into the new year is when you know that something is wrong and something's not right, why do it anyway? So, and I have to look back at some of the things in my life. It's called complacency. So when you know that something's wrong and it's not right, how could you ever continue to live day after day? Let's just back it up. How can you continue to live minute after minute, hour after hour, day after day, week after week, month after month, doing something when you know that it's wrong? That's craziness.
Yeah. I think that when it comes to matters of the heart, though, you can know something's wrong and you're still going to do it, but like you have to be conscious about it, and you have to be like, you have to know when you are doing that, right?
Exactly. And then that,
there are so many situations where logic does not, you can know what like the right thing is, but yet your heart is like,
and then that's
so
where
you
we
have to be conscious. So I feel you.
and I think that's where we go ahead and we bring up these New Year's resolutions. Like, we knew that we've been doing something wrong the whole time. Minute after minute, hour after hour, day after day, week after week, month after month. We knew that it was wrong. So then we turn around and say, okay, this is going to be my New Year's resolution. Okay, so we're going to do all of the wrong things. And then we're going to say that this is my New Year's resolution, only to go back to doing the wrong thing again anyway. Just had me thinking.
Yeah, I think it's just about, that's true. And I think it's also like, I think along with like you're talking about like radical, I think there's also just radical just acceptance of where you're at, and just be kind to yourself when you do go back, and like just like remembering to try again as long as you keep doing it, and like each time like it'll get a bit easier to like succeed, I find, at least. But you have to be kind with like yourself at times,
and I know
and
it's
not trash yourself.
I know, and I know it's easier said than done, because I'm not sitting here acting like, that this is amazing and it's perfect. But that's one of the goals that I have set up. If you know that it's wrong, the first time you know that it's wrong, try to make that change immediately. Try to make that change immediately.
Just do it.
Let's see.
Because the longer you like sit on it, the longer you hum and haw, the longer you're not gonna do it. I agree with you. You gotta just do it. As the book would say, just do it.
Thank you so much, Enrich Mom, for joining in tonight and giving us some wonderful insight here. Well, thank you so much, Maddie, for coming on. It's been such a long time. I know you have a new single out, right? You didn't talk to me about your new single.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Quickly, it is called Till You Break Up. So right now I'm in a creative phase where, rather than being ashamed of my experiences, I'm like reframing them. If that makes sense, to kind of poke like fun at it, because like it's just like ridiculous stuff. So basically, this song is about when you have a best friend, and one day you like just like look at them and like you're like, wow, like I didn't realize like how attractive you are. I didn't realize like how like great you are. But then you're like, but I can never act on this. It's like not, and like do everything I can to like just like catch myself when I'm crossing those boundaries, and like it's like not okay. So that's kind of what it's about. Like it's about radical self-awareness of like thinking about doing stuff but not doing it because you know better. So it actually kind of fits into what we like were just talking about. Funnily enough, like knowing better and not doing the bad thing.
I can use that advice. I'm going to listen to that song. Absolutely, and we can get this. We can get this by.
It's a fun song.
We can get this by going to your Instagram page, right?
Yeah, correct.
Perfect. Definitely will.
It's a fun song. It's like a very cheeky song, but yeah.
Well, I can't wait.
Cheeky.
Can't wait to listen to it. Again, thank you so much for coming on the show. I appreciate it. All the way from.
Thank you so much for having me.
Let us know what part of Canada again.
Calgary, Alberta. Think of the Calgary Stampede.
Got it.
If that helps.
Take care. Stay happy.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. Yes, have a good night, everyone, and thank you.
You're welcome. Take care. Bye. It's a little interesting dealing with the delay, but we got through it tonight. Thank you so much, Enrich Mom, and I appreciate you. You were on as well. So, yes, and Rich Mom was on the live version of This 3 Evolution. So, head on over. You can go to YouTube, you can go to Facebook, you can go to Instagram and watch those replays and support. Your show was awesome too, by the way. So, when I got off with you, I was like, wow, that's amazing. All of my guests, when it's said and done, and I sit back and I'm like, that was a good situation that we had going on there. Good vibe we had going on. Maddie Lee Mars, all the way from Canada, country pop singer. Thank you so much for joining in. I appreciate you. For those of you out there, if you enjoyed this conversation and you want to keep this conversation going, you can head on over to LarenGaines.com and you can sign up for the coaching sessions. That's private one on one coaching conversations with me, yours truly. And again, you can sign up for that at LarenGaines.com. Your topics, your goals, we go over whatever you want to go through in a private, intimate, one on one private conversation, the coaching sessions. If you also like travel, you like adventure, you like to have a home away from home, I have Vacation with Me, condominium lifestyle living when you're on vacation. You can head on over to LarenGaines.com to learn more. You can also text me at 609-738-0611. Please let me know where you like to vacation. I can help build your itinerary. I can send you a bunch of brochures. You can vacation with me. We can start the plan, we can start the dream, and we can make it happen. Again, you can head on over to LarenGaines.com or you can just simply text me at 609-738-0611 and let me know exactly where you like to travel to. Also, we have the 4-on-1 podcast. We have Reading Between the Wines. I have the coaching sessions. Have a bunch of different things going on. If you like to stay up to date on everything Laren Gaines, head on over to LarenGaines.com and sign up for the Whispers of Wisdom newsletter. There is a new newsletter that will be coming out next month, and I'm going to give you a little bit of every single thing that we have going on here. I'm going to give you a little bit of Reading Between the Wines, the 4-on-1 podcast. You'll get to find out exactly which wine I'm sampling for the month. You have vacation openings and all types of great things. Head on over to LarenGaines.com and sign up for Whispers of Wisdom newsletter. And on that note, we are getting ready to get out of here, but tomorrow we have author David L. coming in on Reading Between the Wines, and I am sampling this bottle here. This was a Christmas gift from my niece. Thank you so much for this, and I'm going to sample this tomorrow. This is Ava Grace Merlot. We have some high percentage here. We got some 14.5%. So I'm sure that this wine is going to be out of control tomorrow. Yeah. Ava Grace. Ava Grace Vineyards. We have Merlot. And we have author David L. coming in tomorrow. He's been on the show twice, so I believe this will be his third time when he comes back tomorrow. Can't wait to speak to him. And on that note, I will see you when I see you. Take care, y'all. Have a good night. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here tomorrow. Thank you so much, Maddie, for coming through. Thank you so much for Rich Mom for all of your comments out there. You were out there on X. Thank you. I appreciate that. We had Carol Verdera in the building. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. And on that note, I'll see you tomorrow, 8 p.m. Reading Between the Wines.